Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode from analog.com. This is part 2 of the first review that you would have seen of the NX300. Now I've been using this for almost 3 months, since August, it's now November. So yeah, quite a long time. I do feel like I've overdone my stay with the NX300, but it's one of those cameras I just don't want to let go of yet. Now, you can see the massive 18 by 200mm lens that's on here. It's huge and it allows me to zoom in on anything from anywhere. I've enjoyed using this camera a lot. Some of the things that I discovered since the previous review, I mentioned that the panel at the back does flip out, which is great for viewing angles when you're behind the camera, but when you're actually in front of the camera and you want to take a picture of yourself, to make sure you're in frame, there's some cameras which can flip all the way up and allow you to face the panel from the front. You can't do that with the Samsung, and that actually was something I noticed while trying to take a selfie and couldn't do it very well. Not with this lens obviously, because it would just look like a picture of my forehead, but anyway, you see my point. One thing I noticed there, no viewfinder. You do get used to, eventually you get used to the fact there is no viewfinder there, but when you pass this camera around to people who adore SLRs and couldn't live without an SLR, first thing they do is, oh, there's no viewfinder, let me just use that. And it would be more comforting if you were coming from an SLR backwards to have the viewfinder there, so it made that transition a little bit smoother, because otherwise it feels like you might just be using a compact camera, yeah? So the other thing, for me, I do a bit of video work, a little bit, and you can see I'm using a, well, you can't see it. I can see that I'm using a Canon SLR, and with that I plug a Rode mic into it as an external microphone for the audio. You can't do that with this, there's no external mic input. However, you can get a Samsung hot shoe mounted microphone, which is great, but it's just a shame that it's a proprietary sort of thing. I like my Rode mics, I would love to have plugged that into this, but I couldn't do it, which is a shame. No built-in flash. I don't think I mentioned that in the first review. There's no built-in flash anywhere on this camera, so if it's completely dark, you will have some issues taking photos. Again, you can buy the accessory that comes into the hot shoe, and you could take snaps with a flash. You can do it. It's just not built in. Shame, kind of a shame. The one other thing, the massive lenses, this particular one, but all the lenses that I tested it with have an eye function button on the side. And I didn't really demonstrate this much before, and it's something that I really noticed when I started using the bigger lens. You can see naturally when I pick up this camera, I hold it, my thumb is actually right where this eye function button is. Now the eye function button allows you to adjust particular settings for part of your shot that you're taking from the lens. So there's another ring here, and this ring allows you to adjust settings from the eye function, which is awesome. So I can still be sitting here ready to take my shot, and while I'm here I can turn the ring and use the eye function button and actually make some smooth adjustments without having to move my hand back here, make changes on the screen, and then go back again. So it's kind of a simple way of making adjustments. I really enjoyed that. So there is a few things that I discovered as part of the long-term review. Obviously just taking more photos was an experience as well, but I really enjoyed carrying the smaller camera. Look at it from the side, it is a much smaller unit than say my 650D. It's huge compared to that, you know what I mean? And when I was traveling or when I was going for days out and I want to take my camera with me, most of the time I'd be like, I'm just going to leave my Canon at home because it's too big, and I take my phone or something. In this case I was happy to take this because it fit into my side bag or something like that. I wouldn't normally want to carry a lens this big, and if I was going forward, you can actually get pancake lenses. I would buy one of those. Pancake lens will bring it down much further. Sure, I won't have this huge zoom, however I could always crop, or I could just walk a little bit closer and get that shot anyway. So I would go for a pancake lens. It would fit a lot more easily into bags. You could hang it around your neck without worrying about this huge lens bumping into things, and that would make it just the ultimate little travel camera for me, I think. So yes, that is the NX300. There is not a lot more to say, except unless you haven't watched the first review. If you haven't watched the first part, I don't know, it says part 2, please watch the first part. That's it. That's the NX300. It's a great little camera. I love the brown leather still. This actually doesn't scuff very easy. I'm looking at it and I've taken it so many places, and I don't have a case for it, so it's just been going into bags. And there's no real scuff marks on it, which is quite good. It's quite hardy, which is great. The lenses look good still. Yeah, about 3 months, August, September, October, November, 3 months, and I still recommend the NX300. Just a few things which you need to be aware of. LCD doesn't flip around, no viewfinder, external mic you'll have to buy separately, flash you'll have to buy separately, and the eye function is actually a really cool addition, which is something I don't have on my Canon 650D. Thanks for watching, guys. That's the Samsung NX300. Thanks for watching.